I rise in moving on behalf of my colleagues that this House, in accordance with Standing Order 10.01, requires the Leader of the Government to table in the Council within 60 days of the House agreeing to this resolution the final report of the Property Market Review commissioned by the then Minister for Consumer Affairs, Gaming and Liquor Regulation in 2022. Now, the document motion that I'm putting before us today is very straightforward and, quite frankly, should not be contentious. I would expect that everyone in this chamber would be interested to know what is contained in the Property Market Review from 2022. At a time when the housing crisis looms and a whole generation of people are locked out of home ownership, this Property Market Review could provide some very useful insights into the levers available to government that the Labor government could be engaging with to ensure that people in our state have fairer and easier access to the housing market per the intentions of the document. That was the plan, and so it's time that we see what is actually in this document. The intention of the review was to examine how our laws could be improved to make housing more affordable and accessible in Victoria, but the government has been sitting on it for years as housing prices continue, as we've seen, to rise, and rampant underquoting has fast become Melbourne's worst kept secret. It can be a soul-destroying process trying to buy your first home. I've been written to directly by constituents about this matter, week after week, getting your hopes up and then having them dashed when a place immediately jumps beyond your budget, even though it was advertised as affordable for you. Every weekend, first-home buyers, renters trying to buy, young families spending their days inspecting properties, working out what they want, what they can afford. Even before they attend an auction, people are pouring money into inspections, into legal fees for houses they never had a chance of securing. The system is gamed to benefit real estate agents and to keep house prices all the more high. House hunting is stressful enough without wasting the time, the energy, the money, pinning your hope on a home that you should have known you can't actually afford if it was set properly. The Property Market Review was intended to specifically look at consumer protections when it comes to underquoting, amongst other things. And in some suburbs in Melbourne right now, 9 out of 10 homes are selling way above the price guide. In Clifton Hill, 61% of tracked sales went over the agent's highest guide prices, and in Richmond, one property sold $450,000 over the guide. Real estate agents need to disclose the reserve price when advertising a property. It's the only way that people can genuinely know if they have a chance and can actually afford a place. Without this, the cruel game of watching house after house sell for way more than you can actually afford week after week will just continue. Preparing to bid at an auction takes time and effort, aside from the fact that you have to like the house enough to want to commit many hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy it in the first place. Finding an affordable house, choosing it as one you're prepared to buy, preparing your finances, having the place assessed, having it inspected, and then turning up at the auction full of hope and expectation, it's a lot. And then it sells for $100,000 over your budget. And the next weekend, the same happens. And you continue this process for months, not sure if you'll even manage to find somewhere. And that's not fair to put Victorians through. We need to change the system to make it more transparent by clearly displaying reserve prices and introduce stronger penalties for dodgy real estate agents who continue to underquote. My guess is, this document not being provided thus far, that the Property Market Review will likely support this position and potentially have further suggestions to address underquoting and other barriers that first-home buyers face when it comes to buying a home. It is an important document, hopefully not a contentious one, to be released to the Parliament, and one that could provide some very useful information on ways to fix parts of our broken housing system. I hope for the Chamber's support today and look forward to reading what's contained in the report.